Meanwhile, President Trump was not at the White House at the time of today's shooting. He's in Florida celebrating Thanksgiving, but did release a statement about the shooting on Truth Social, saying that the animal who shot the guardsman will pay a very steep price. He goes on to say, God bless our great National Guard and all of our military and law enforcement. These are truly great people. I, as President of the United States and everyone associated with the office of the presidency, am with you. Vice President J.D. Vance, like the president, out of town for the holiday. He is at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, visiting troops. Here is his reaction.
National Guardsmen were injured in the line of duty. And first of all, I want everybody who's a person of faith to say a prayer for those two National Guardsmen, that they're able to spend Thanksgiving with their families instead of losing their lives, because I understand they're still in pretty tough condition. But I think it's a somber reminder that soldiers, whether they're active duty, reserve, or National Guard, our soldiers are the sword and the shield of the United States of America.
And a U.S. Capitol Park police helicopter seen here on the National Mall evacuating one of those injured guardsmen. They were airlifted again to MedStar Washington Hospital there in Northwest D.C., where they remain in critical condition tonight. And just a huge response in 17th and I Streets Northwest, where those soldiers were shot just after 2 o'clock this afternoon. You can see the crime tape in the background there as first responders, they flood the area and shut down Farragut Square. Again, this is about 2 blocks from the White House, only a 5-minute or so walk there. And here's another picture from the scene from the other side. Just a massive response from police, firefighters, and see fire engines as well. This is a real busy area, especially that time of day. A lot of people getting out of work early, perhaps starting their long holiday weekend. It's also not uncommon to see tourists here in this area. Secret Service was in this area, in the neighborhood, as that shooting unfolded, as it happened just not far from the White House complex. You can see here this agent holding a large gun shortly after the shooting. ATF officers also seen near the shooting. The White House was put under lockdown for a period of time. Again, the president was not there, down in Florida, Palm Beach and Mar-a-Lago. And there are nearly 2,200 National Guard members assigned to duty in Washington. That's as of Tuesday. More than 900 are from the D.C. National Guard. Well, the rest from 7 other states, including West Virginia. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth speaking about the shooting today from the Dominican Republic. Take a listen.
Myself and my team were notified that 2 National Guardsmen have been shot in Washington, D.C., critically wounded. The shooter shot in a cowardly, dastardly act targeting the best of America. Heroes willing to serve in Washington, D.C., serve for people they don't know and they've never met because they love their country and their capital and their community. They were willing to do dangerous things others were not because they love their fellow Americans. Someone decided to turn that into targeting National Guardsmen. That will only stiffen our resolve. We will never back down. We will secure our capital. We will secure our cities. In fact, this happened just steps away from the White House. It will not stand. And that's why President Trump has asked me, and I will ask the Secretary of the Army, to the National Guard to add 500 additional troops, National Guardsmen, to Washington, D.C. This will only stiffen our resolve to ensure that we make Washington, D.C. safe and beautiful. The drop in crime has been historic. The increase in safety and security has been historic. But if criminals want to conduct things like this, violence against America's best, we will never back down. President Trump will never back down. That's why the American people elected him. America and our warriors, our National Guardsmen, are strong. And so we're following this very closely. We're getting information rapidly.
Again, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth there. Meanwhile, D.C. Police Union, whose leadership has sparred with local elected officials over public safety policy in the district, releasing a statement on X. The shooting of 2 National Guardsmen in D.C. is a despicable act. Our homicide detectives will ensure that whoever perpetrated this violence is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And West Virginia Senator and former Governor Jim Justice releasing a statement reading in part, Kathy and I were devastated to hear about the horrific shooting that took place near the White House earlier today involving 2 National Guardsmen. Of course, this is a developing situation. We're bringing you the latest both here on air and online at DCNewsNow.com.